Hello, and welcome to another one of our infrequent podcasts. Maybe that's what we'll be titling them. I'm Jay again, and with me is Chilli Dave.
Oh, how's it going?
So we always like to have a little theme with our podcast, and we thought on this occasion, we'll address why do the stupid stuff. When it comes to Chile, we've all done some really silly things, stuff that we regret, yet we continue to do. We've seen people do some really bizarre things, and so we thought we'd just sort of run over a few of our fonder memories. Is fonder the right word here?
Fonder, painful.
So yeah,
hours of discomfort.
Yeah,
and
so
pleasure for other people.
Indeed. Well, that's it. I mean, obviously, I don't want to bang on about YouTube too much, but those that get the hits for us are where people are genuinely causing themselves discomfort, whether it's us or whether it's Chile eating competitions, and it's really, whether it's morbid curiosity, Schadenfreude, or
I think
what?
it is. Stuff we've done. And,
well, I mean, we both started off doing Chile eating competitions separately. We didn't do them at the same time.
No.
And I think if you ever do one of those, you realise that you're probably not the most intelligent person on earth. Well, no, actually, that's not fair. So we've met some very intelligent people that have entered these competitions, but
doctors and all sorts, do it?
Yeah, we have, because of course we had that one competition where the actual paramedic was on stage doing the Chile eating competition, which in itself was slightly concerning to us because we technically didn't have a current paramedic to hand.
Well, it's that sort of manly food, isn't it? And because it's a challenge, and it just brings out your macho. But the thing is, you got the ladies that join in as well.
Yeah,
so it's not just blokes.
No, I think it's a real gender divide though, because I think blokes, and it is a bit of a generalisation, but blokes is about bravado for the most part. It's the big I am. It's like, I can do this. I eat hot curries all the time. I have chilies on everything. And that's all very well, but a Chile eating competition is a very different animal. And I think with women, do you know what, most of the women that have entered, generally there's a kind of almost, not every last one of them, but a lot of them have just got this kind of common approach of, just going to give it a go, I'm just going to have a laugh, there's no expectation, they don't think they're going to win, but actually, well, we've said, haven't we, statistically, there's a really high chance that a woman will win if she enters.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the eating competitions at Grillstock years ago where the winner was actually a girl that came in last minute and she wasn't even signed up. Her mate had signed up, and what had happened was her mate refused to go on stage. She was too scared and she wanted her friend along for a bit of support. And the only way we could do that is if her mate then actually entered the competition. And so the one that wanted to originally enter went out, 4 or 5 rounds in, and her moral support was the girl that ultimately won it. So fair play, really.
I think I don't know. Chile eating competitions. I mean, like you said, we've both participated in them, different ones, sort of fairly much at all different locations. Won a couple, lost more.
There's a psychology though, isn't there? I mean, I think the moment you do one, I don't think I'll ever win one again if I tried. No. If I'm honest, I mean, I've got probably a higher than most tolerance for heat, but that doesn't mean I think I can do it. There's a psychology involved. I know what's coming.
So is this an exclusive that we're both retired Chile eating, competitive Chile eating?
I don't say retired as such. I might be a seat filler maybe, but but that said, actually, I mean, they're in demand now. So whenever we run a competition, it's very rare for us to struggle to have entrants these days, which is good. So, but I mean, have you got a nemesis chili? Because I've got a nemesis chili definitely, and for me, it's a 7-pot. I don't know what it is about the 7-pot. I can eat hotter. Do you know what I mean? I've eaten hotter, but for some reason, 7-pot just crucifies me every time. I don't know why.
Mine's probably the same then. Well, I remember that video years ago, and it just literally straight down, bang. In fact, no, it's got to be the 7-pot, because I ended up in hospital, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was I hadn't realised...
That was a strain on the NHS is what that was.
Yeah. But I hadn't realised that I had an underlying stomach condition, which was an ulcer. And we were in the pub, wasn't it? And we had some 7-pots in batter. What do you call it?
Poppers.
No, just dipped in batter and deep fried.
Well, like tempura stuff.
Tempura, that's it. And then add one. I was just, I'll try this, and I didn't know what. I knew it was a chili, but I didn't realise it was a 7-pot. Ate it, and literally, I was like, that's uncomfortable. And then during the night, I didn't really have much discomfort, but it was just like, that's not right. And I went to the toilet and realised that's not right at all. So I presented myself at the local A&E and had a 7 days stay because I had an ulcer and it ruptured it. So, but it wasn't. Well done. It was the chili that ended up sort of being the ultimate sort of cause of it. But obviously, I didn't realise I had an ulcer that was there. So there was and it was a duodenal ulcer, which is in the lower part of the stomach.
Good score in Scrabble, wasn't that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, probably spell it. But yeah, that was nice 7 days in hospital. Nice.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Actually, is can you remember when we went to the cider festival in Bristol a few years back? And we had those pickled onions that were flavoured with ghost peppers.
That's right.
And they were dried ghost peppers that had obviously been steeped in this vinegar for, I don't know, months, 6-8 months, however long it's been in there.
Yeah.
And we were sat on the table, and there was about 4 or 5 of us, wasn't there? And we sort of bought our own little picnic kind of to enjoy and eat during the evening. Partly to soak up some of the cider, 110 ciders, and we were determined between the sort of 5 of us to get through them all. So we did all right. Actually, we got through most of them, I think. Because I had an MRI scan the following day, and I was so hungover and felt so awful that I fell asleep in the MRI. Which, if you've ever had an MRI scan, you know they're not quiet things. So I passed out, and that I was absolutely exhausted. But anyway, but we were sat on this table, weren't we, with this kind of picnic, and there were a couple of girls that came over, and they sat on the table, and they freely admitted, they say they've come over because they saw we had food, and they want some food, and would we share?
Yeah.
And
as gentlemen.
That's right. Yeah,
we were gentlemen. We shared.
We did share. We're nice people. We try and share these things, but they had become a little bit irritating quite quickly.
Yeah.
And so we took out one of the ghost peppers from the pickled eggs, and we'd actually taken it out already, I think. And one of the girls said, "Oh, what's that?" And I just turned around and said, "It's a sun-dried tomato."
That's right, yeah.
So she popped the whole thing in her mouth.
She wanted it.
Yeah, she wanted it because she liked sun-dried tomatoes, absolutely. But then, she put it in her mouth, chewed away, and then just turned around and said, "You're not right. That's not right." And then just saw her go running off to the bar, and that was that. And they left the table. So we're good at making friends.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was. But then I think we had other people coming over then because they realised that we had loads of chili stuff, and everyone was like tucking in, and that was a good night. That. Yeah,
no, it's all right actually. Good fun. So. Being West Country, it's cider is the way forward, isn't it? So 110 to try, good stuff that. But and then so we both did chili eating competitions. That was sort of that. I always remember actually the first one I did was at the Upton Cheney Chili Festival.
Yeah.
And then that evening, I'm trying to think who I was messing around with. I want to say it was a guy called Leo Scott, as in Homegrown UK Chili, whatever his channel is. We were messing about in the evening, and I can't remember what we had. It was some crossed pepper or something. It was like a 7-pot cross with a scorpion or something, because Reapers weren't around at that point in time. Yeah. And we ate one each, and I think we filmed it, if I remember correctly. But then it was one of those moments where you knew, because I swallowed the whole thing after chewing it, and so I'm just sort of laced with capsaicin, mouth, throat, stomach, and then it was about, I want to say about 3 a.m. and we were still more or less up anyway, because the sort of the after party goes at these things. Cider again, and I just remember pacing around that farm, pacing around the field. There were cows there, and I was just in agony, crippled over, capsaicin just absolutely swimming in my stomach, and it came in waves. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll sort of be there for a minute or two, and then it will subside slightly and comes back in its waves. But I felt that travel awful.
You can actually feel it going through your intestine, and it's like just burning, and then you just get that it's like a hot poker, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you just feel it transversing across.
You know where it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know whereabouts it is in your intestine.
I think my average time from consumption to exit is about 4 hours.
Chexit. Yeah. So we have Brexit, Britain exit, so we're Chile exit, so let's call it Chexit. So Chexit, yeah.
And then, but I'll tell you what though, have you ever had, when you've gone to urinate, that stings?
Yeah, it's like peeing lava.
That, seriously guys, is when you know you've overdosed on chili. It's when you go to the bathroom and you go for a wee and it's burning like mad, and I tell you what, that is uncomfortable.
I had it when we did the remember we did the 15.2 million capsaicin, crystallized capsaicin, which we dissolved in bourbon.
Yeah.
And I had it then, and I was using nature's bathroom at that point, and I thought I'd brushed against some stinging nettles or something. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
it certainly.
Oh, dude, it just it's horrible.
Well, that's interesting because like yourself, you don't suffer from it. Like if I eat hot cheese or real hot sauces and stuff like that, I always get a nice little tingle, as in on the exit, on the sitting down on the toilet. Don't know how to put it, but having a dump. But you don't get that too much.
No, I don't. I don't get the old ring of fire, as you might call it. So,
bit of Johnny Cash.
No, I don't know. No nerve endings. I don't know what that's all about, but I've never. But I feel the transit. Yeah. Definitely feel the transit. For me, chili is worse in the stomach than it is in the mouth.
Yeah.
So by a long way, and that's my biggest issue. Sometimes it's not so much because you can deal with the heat in the mouth, and you might dribble like a lunatic for a bit and whatnot, but.
It's when it goes past that.
Yeah, because if you remember again, talking about stupid stuff. You remember when we both did the Reaper and you had, I think you were given a dog bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and drooling everywhere, and you literally, it's grim because you pretty much filled that dog bowl with your saliva. Yeah. It was disgusting. No, it's making me wretched to think about it.
I think one of the, I wouldn't say craziest, I think one of the stupidest things is snorting chili powder. I've done that.
Yeah,
a lot of times. Not all. A couple of them obviously we've captured on video, but there's been a number of times, and that it just absolutely. It's really hard to explain because it just you snort it. I've never snorted anything else in my life, and then you snort it, and your tear duct, which is what they call a eustachian tube, which is from the corner of your eye down into your nose, that just instantly just goes burn mode, and then you get it. You feel like you got chili in your eyes, and you just your eyes water, and you're trying to open your eyes, but it actually burns. Open your eyes. Do not ever try it at home. Anyone out there listening, I do not try it. It is absolutely insane. And that, but then an hour later, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Wow. But then
it's got to go somewhere. You either sneeze it out or it comes out in mucus. Or it's sneezing, isn't it? Yeah, sneezing.
It's the days after when you sort of pick a bogey. Boogie, and then you're just like going, oh no, and then you just get it sort of under your nail. I don't eat bogeys all the time, but I might have the odd bogey.
Yeah, no, see, that is an issue I do have because obviously both you and I handle chilies pretty much daily, and it's the under the nail thing like that. So I've got into the habit of sliding my nail or the underside of my nail across the bottom of my teeth. Literally just try and get rid of any, because all you need is 1 grain. That's it. Yeah. Of powder.
It just gets in any open wounds. You got any? Well, you should know if you've got any open wounds.
I had that the other day. I was squeezing a lime and I hadn't realised I cut myself. And you know about it then because of the acidity.
Oh yeah, that's like when I been handling chilies. If I have to go to the toilet, I'll always try and use my left hand, which is a mistake because I'm not very good with my left hand. And he's just like that because so many times, no doubt you guys out there have been caught out.
Explains why your floorboards are warped around your toilet. Yeah.
God, yeah, he's just like, no, and he's just like schoolboy error.
Yeah, I know. You never learn on these things, do you? I've had that many a times where It's been under the nail. You've caught yourself, and you sat somewhere where you can't really move in a hurry, or
you just want to sit down and cry and just crawl up in the
fetal position, isn't it? Yeah.
Crawl up in the corner in a fetal position and just go.
No. But then, I mean, extracts are always interesting.
Yeah.
I think we've had extracts many a time, and as far as taste goes, they're vile.
Yeah.
As well. There's only one company that makes extracts taste of something, and that's Grim Reaper Foods.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's just a vile thing. And I think one of the first times I had it in any serious quantity was when we did the Meat Your Maker Reproduction, or whatever it's called, from Heavenly Heat Gourmet Sauces. And extract, even though it's like, this is a 5 million extract, or 5.5, I forget what it was. Yeah. And I mean, at 5.5, all you need really is a small amount, a couple of millimeters, on the end of a cocktail stick. So we had a teaspoon each.
Yeah.
And that on top of a chili crisp as well.
The crisp was nice. That was
flipping out. Did that do a number?
That was a pain as well, wasn't it?
Oh, I was in the toilet I remember various people trying to get me out of the toilet because I was taking out the one and only trap in the pub. Yeah. And I couldn't do it. I was throwing up. And
sticking the camera over the toilet.
So I remember you filming it. Yeah.
It was like the other month when with the Crude Brothers, and we did a cocktail stick.
Hell Unleashed,
Hell Unleashed, which is Hotheads, and there's a joint collab. Well, there you go. It's a collaboration between Hotheads and Chili Pepper Company, and then so we did a collab video with the Crude Brothers. All cleverly thought out, obviously, and we did a cocktail stick of that. Yeah. Within minutes, I was off to the toilet.
You were. The thing is, that room was slightly open plan as well, so there was no door to shut or anything, no. And you were just behind frosted glass, and we could all see what was going on. So that was a hotel room, wasn't it? Yeah, that was in their hotel room in London.
Nick, and he's unbelievable.
Yeah, no,
the way he handles it. I mean, I think he's immune.
I know, for what was he, 15 years old? Yeah, jeez Louise. Yeah, I know, he didn't flinch. No. No. So, I mean...
Yeah. He went out for fish and chips afterwards, didn't he?
That's right, yeah.
So, obviously, they were over from the States, and so we took them to a traditional English pub, because Nick wanted fish and chips, so they tried loads of traditional stuff. So, fish and chips, he loved it. So, we talked to him in mushy peas, didn't we?
Yes.
Talked to him over mushy peas.
Yeah, mushy peas, yeah.
That was great. I mean, that was really good we first hooked up with him in New York anyway. It was good. But
that was, I mean, that was hot, but that was, for me, that was slightly more manageable. Yeah. Slightly more manageable than doing a teaspoon of the stuff. Yeah. Well, a Meat Your Maker, I still think about it now. The videos on YouTube still, I think, and it's one of our earlier videos, and the quality isn't fantastic, but I watch it now and again, just almost like as a reminder of just you say, why do the stupid stuff, and actually that's a really good question when you watch that video. But then it was the you remember when we were in New York and I had the plutonium, Mad Dog plutonium, was at 9 million or something like that, and I had no more than probably enough to fit on my fingernail, little fingernail. When actually that's actually quite a lot still, and that as you'll see in the video, it literally brought me to my knees. I was in pieces with that, absolute pieces with it.
We were ruined from the start. 15 minutes of getting into the festival, freaking Ed Curry,
giving us a Reaper Venom.
Try this.
It's real clean, he says. It's real clean. It's just got that pepper flavour. It just tastes of nothing but the Reaper. It's a really good, clean flavour. Don't worry about the heat. Don't worry about it. But it was like, oh man. And that was like a little ice cream scoop, wasn't it? So I don't know what that amounts to. Maybe about 2-3 mil at the most. It's not a lot, but again, made me double over. Remember that much, and it was bizarre because it was clean. He wasn't wrong, but
it was ethanol, wasn't it?
It was ethanol extraction. Yeah. But after that kind of initial ethanol, clean alcohol went, that heat just built, and it didn't really plateau for some time. It just kept building and building and building. And I was just dribbling a lot. So so we were in from the outset. And everywhere we went in that expo, and we just kept going with it. I mean, we had source after source after source, which in itself was great. I mean, we found some fantastic stuff over there. But then, like I say, we met up with Ted Barris, and so did the 9 million plutonium Mad Dog, brought me to my knees. And again, we may have told this story already, I don't know, but that was that moment where I needed to throw up. I knew it was coming. And one of the things I can do if I need to be ill is I can kind of just about hold it in for a limited amount of time. But if you remember, there was only one male toilet in that centre, in that expo centre. And there was a queue for it. Yep. So I was in the queue holding onto the wall, and you being a good mate just kept the camera rolling. And by the time it actually got to the point where a cubicle became open, so I could literally just throw up everything that was in me, I was in so much pain. I was on my hands and knees, and I crawled, God knows through what, but I had to wash my hands like nothing else afterwards, but crawled on my hands and knees into this cubicle that had been in use all day. Threw up. Well, I didn't throw up straight away. No, because what I hadn't realised is that you had gone basically I went into one cubicle and I hadn't realised that the one next to me had become available. Yeah. So you go in there and drop your trousers and obviously get rid of whatever you ate the night before. And that smell came from underneath, and it hit me with such pungent sort of vitriol that was it. That was the trigger, and I just threw up like nothing else then. And all I really remember at that point is people outside laughing, and everybody in that toilet area just laughing at what had just taken place. But even after that, I mean, I was in so much pain. I got rid of the most of it, but obviously some of it must have found its way into the intestine. And I remember being sat on, I'd gone to like the back of this expo centre, and I can't remember where you'd gone at that point. And I was sat against this wall. I just found a quiet place where I could collect my thoughts and debate my my mortality. And then there was like some journalists that came up and wanted to ask me about 50,000 questions, and I struggled to talk to him. I'm just dribbling still, and I'm in a right mess. And he did write an email afterwards saying, "Thanks very much. We'll be using, your interview in whatever publication." But it's like, I'm amazed he got 2 cents out of me, because I had no idea whatsoever what was going on. But yeah, so that wasn't the brightest mood. We've spent all that money and flown all that way, and for 2 days we just ruined ourselves. Because I know we've mentioned it before, but then we did the Reaper squeezins again with Ed after the show had shut. So we had a belly full of chili and hot sauce all day, and then
what's coming with that one?
And I tried some of that pizza as well. They have that pizza eating competition or whatever, and I tried a bit of that, and that.
Oh dear.
Excuse you. And that had found its way into a part of my intestine again that was not a lot of fun. So
I'm just trying to think of other sort of like. There's only so much you can do with it, chili. And have not fun with it, but
well, I don't know. As we discovered in Belgium, you can shape it into a solid plastic mould and use it in the bedroom. So
just don't take the chili on it.
No. So we found that, and battery operated and everything. So you can do that, of course. Yeah. So
I think one of the things that we do is you got a mobile phone, and that's how we capture things on mobile phones a lot of the time. It's not always, we say camera, it's mobile phone. Get that out quick. You capture, like loads of people do out there. They capture all sorts of stuff on mobile phones and everything, and that's a lot of times that's how we've captured it.
Oh yeah.
We just record it, share it with you guys, because we want to share our fun, because it's you can have a bit of laughter and stuff on your own, but then actually, do you know what, you might like this, so we'll film it and edit it,
Yeah.
and then stick it up.
Well, the thing is, we're not always even filming it, are we? I mean, the thing is that what we film and what we put up is, all right. The reviews are staged, if you will. So obviously they're set up as a review, and we do a bit of research, etc. But some of the stuff where we're mucking about, it's just having a camera there at the right time, rather than, again, sort of setting it up and staging it. And to be honest, we'll all mess about with each other, and we've all rimmed each other's glasses with chili many a time. And there was a book, and I'm saying this for these for people that are listening rather than to you directly, Dave. But there was a book that was written about 2 years ago now called Chili Britain. And it was written by a guy called Gideon Burrows, that's it. And I think it's still available you can get it as a digital download, and it's on Amazon and whatnot. And so I've had the pleasure of reading that book, as has Dave. And the author, Gideon, he did a lot of research. It's a really well-written book. It's very light, it's humorous. It's a mini adventure really for him, and just exploring the kind of the UK chili scene, not just the industry, but the sort of scene and the kind of the social aspects and so on. And so Gideon wanted to witness. He wanted to experience us in our natural habitat, shall we say, as in messing about with chilies in the pub. So we did that, didn't we? We said, yeah, come along. All right, we're all planning to have a bit of a night, so come along, and we'll just go from there. And it was one of those moments, I think, where you almost forget that he's around. And what I hadn't realised that night is he was exceptionally observant of everything. When I thought he was out talking with somebody or sort of eating or whatever, he was watching all the time, and I was really impressed with that. And more so because when it came to it, when the book came out, I hadn't realised he had witnessed something I had done. He changes my name, and he says in the book, the names have been changed to protect the guilty, and to one of the other club members at the time. And that is, I'd bought it back from the expo in New York that we're talking about, and I had some 9 million liquid extract, but it was very thin, fine stuff that you just wouldn't look twice at, really. It hasn't got that, because most extracts are sort of dark. They look black, but it's really normally a very dark red. So I'd taken a pipette full of that and put it into the last, basically what was probably no more than about 50 mils worth of beer at the bottom of one of the other club members' glasses. And the reason I've done that is because what do you do with that last bit of beer? You just gulp it down, don't you? Yeah. So I did that, and I remember his face at that moment where he just drank it, where he swallowed, and you immediately realise something's wrong. He just sort of looked around and just went, he had no idea it was me at that point. He just went, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And he kept saying it. And then next thing you know, he goes off to the toilet, and that's him done for about an hour. And then
got him again, though.
Yeah, and then we got a second time. Because I remember you just walking past me, second time, witnessing me doing it and going, stop it now. Stop it, come on. It's like one more.
When you do that on the pint glass as well, it's like quite often we've rimmed the top of a pint, so we break a chili open, just wipe it around the top of the chili, around the pint glass, and they take a pint and it just gets
catches you on your lips,
corner of your mouth, and you're just like, oh no. But I mean, we're quite savvy to it now, because sometimes you just go, and you can pick up the aroma as you get the pint glass near to your thing, and then man, it's
even worse on bottles.
Yeah,
because you've got a smaller aperture, so you pretty much get the full hit of whatever's on that rim. Yeah, and I've been there many times.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think of other sort of real crazy stuff. I don't know. Is it crazy or is it fun? I think it's just entertainment. You get bored and you're like, right, what should we do? Do this, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's a bit of fun. I think because we understand the kind of the science behind it to a degree, and we ain't scientists, we don't know everything, but we know that the capsaicin, what makes the chili hot, is a neurotoxin. We know that burn is kind of nature's way of of trying to trick us to believe that we're eating something we shouldn't.
Which is poisonous,
so it's poisonous, and because it's the same set of signals as a burn. So a genuine burn, like if you would on the iron or a stove or whatever. So it's the same signals that go to the brain, but there is no physical burn taking place. It's just a trick of the mind. So I always know in the back of my head that actually this, unless I've got any underlying medical conditions like a perforated stomach or stomach ulcer like you had, then actually it ain't going to be fun. I'm going to feel it, but it'll be all right. It will go through and I'll be all right again. So, I mean, I've read up on this a few times, and it was calculated that I think if a person was able to consume something like either 2 or 2.5 pounds, which is just over a kilo, of dried ghost pepper powder in one sitting in fairly short session. So it's not like you have a spoonful every hour. I'm talking, you eat it like you would a meal. Then it could potentially kill them. But you find me somebody that's going to eat that and keep it down. Even if you've got the tolerance and no taste buds, you try keeping that down. That ain't gonna work. Your body's just gonna go nope.
Reject. There's people out there that do challenges and stuff like that, and you watch it and their body goes into reject mode, and that's it. It comes out. You're always gonna get stuff left over, and you like we were saying earlier, as it transits through the body, you get hours of pain. Have
you ever seen the Where's My Challenge video where he eats, I think he's got 2 blocks of butter and he pours over, I don't know what it is, like 100 grams worth of dried Reaper powder over the top, and just eats the butter and the chili together, and he starts throwing that up and it comes out like ghee, but that's unpleasant.
Sort of done sort of powder. I've eaten powders, I've tried pastes and all sorts of stuff, and then you're just like, oh dear. But I think
paste can be bad actually. Like I had probably a bit much of the is it the Maruga paste from Sfizi di Calabria? Yeah, the Italian stuff, and that because that's potent stuff. Because that really is pretty much just scorpion plus a touch of vinegar and a pinch of salt or something. So it's
the guy's name now.
Don't know.
I forgot.
Yeah, mash. I'm not a fan of mash anyway. I mean, mash. I don't like the taste. Don't like the smell. But that's pretty aggressive stuff. Because the thing with mash as well, you don't quite realise quite how much chili you're getting. Yeah. So with a pod, you kind of know what you're getting. You can have a bite or whatever. But with mash, obviously, it's more than meets the eye in a sense.
You just don't realise how much chili. You get a small little pot. Actually, don't forget, a whole chili on its own, it's got loads of air inside it technically, and yet when you mash it up, you can pulp down a chili and it probably won't even fill it, just about fill a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Sort of an average size habanero.
Yeah.
Whereas mash, you've got it all concentrated. You're like, oh the hell.
Do you remember? I don't know if this has just come to mind actually, but do you remember when we were at a festival and there was a band player called the Computers that were playing, a nice bunch of lads, and they were asking, they were very intrigued about chilies and asking this, that and the other, and one of I think it was their bass player wanted to try a Reaper.
That's right.
And they hadn't gone on yet, they hadn't been on stage yet, and was like, we've got some if you really want one, but you just want a little bite or something like that because it ruin you. And he's like, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. And the next thing you know, he ate the whole thing. Yeah. But man alive, was he ill. And I felt sorry for him. Well, I sort of felt sorry for him because obviously he had to do a 45-minute slot or whatever at a festival with 20,000 people watching. That's he was in pieces. So I think it was trying to think of the name of it. What's the guy from Hasty Dixie, forgotten his name now, but because he was there at the same time going, is he all right? I was like, I don't know, dude, I don't know. He's like, all right, I want to know.
Grow chilies.
Yeah.
So he regrets that now. We did try and tell him. please?
I know, I always do it, do you know what I mean? But, if that's what people want to do, that's what they do. Because we often find as well, because when we do some chili eating competitions, have you found that at the end we normally sell off any excess chilies for charity? So we support a charity in the southwest here called It's in the Bag, which they raise awareness for testicular cancer. And frankly, if anybody's got the balls to eat lots of hot chilies, then they probably ought to try and keep them. So that's why we're very much behind them. Yeah. Anyway. So we sell these chilies off, don't we? But what I've often found, I know we've noticed this, that these people buy these like mixed bags and boxes of chili that we sell, and then they go back into their little group in the crowd or whatever, and they have their own little mini chili eating competitions, then come back to us in pieces going, have we got any milk? Oh, just take the hottest one.
You see these groups of sort of like little clumps of people, like sort of like 7 or 8 people, and they're having their own little mini. You're like, oh no.
It's like, don't try this at home. Yeah, I know it's. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure the festival organizer or the bars at the festival organisers quite enjoy it because it's going to help with.
Somebody rushing off to the bar and trying to buy something.
Yeah, we get it. We never struggle to sell them though, which is great. So people always want them, but I think that's one of the nice things of eating competitions. People do have a sort of fascination in because obviously we try and keep it varied. I mean, we got all we're sort of greens and reds and yellows and oranges and chocolates and whatever else we've sort of grown or can get our hands on. So I mean, remember like those habanero big suns that we had a couple of years ago. Flipping out, they were huge things. They were probably about 3-inch diameter, some of them, and. The thing with that is it knocked a fair few people out because of just some.
I think just handing them out, people are just like, no. They were like apples, weren't they?
It's like, nope, absolutely nope. Do you know what? Right, this is a complete and utter tangent, and I'm so shameful to admit this, but I will admit this. So, it's just the way you're going. Nope. I happened to catch on TV the other day something called, I want to say it was called Love at First Kiss. It was on some bizarre cable channel. And basically the premise is where it's either it's normally a woman, I think, or is it a guy? Oh, it doesn't matter actually, either way around. So they're basically in a studio just waiting for a total stranger just to walk through the door, and obviously all these people have been sort of selected and vetted for the show. And the first thing that stranger does is they have to kiss them and then leave again. And then based on that kiss, they decide whether they want to go on like a speed date. And then
blindfolded?
No. I'm sure some of them wish they were, but yes. And then after their speed date, they like their speed date, they go on a proper date and all that kind of stuff. It's trash TV, and I would never normally watch it. But the reason it's come to mind is because you're there going nope, and like the other night when I watched it, there was don't get me wrong, I don't watch it regularly. It isn't recorded on my box now. There was this woman who just like every time a guy entered the room, she'd just go nope, and like get him to turn around and walk out. She didn't want anything to do with it. And it was like, and guys aren't my thing, but you sort of look at some of these chaps walking through and you think, I'm sure he's a pretty good looking chap all in all. What's wrong with that? And she kept doing it throughout the program. Nope. And it was like until one guy came along and he was like, why not? What's wrong? And she's like, what are you after? She said, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. I just have no attraction to you. She was really fussy. Yeah, she stormed off actually in the end, and that was that. But yeah, so anyway, that's a slight tangent. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but what I do is because you're saying nope when people see chilies. So yeah, she was treating people like chilies basically. So which is nice of it. Anyway, so Love at First Kiss. I don't know what time it's on, but your new favourite show right there.
It's definitely off my list. I'm not freaking looking for that. I'll stick with my Discovery Channel.
Yeah, that's what
fishing adventures and stuff like that.
I like the cooking channel myself, so I'm watching. Just in case, every now and again, you see people use chilies, and that does bug me slightly because when people use chilies, it's always like generic red cayenne. Just add some chili, and it's sometimes it's raw and it's added at the end, or for some reason, if you're adding it to begin with, then it's always like the flakes and dried stuff and. Maybe at some point we'll do a podcast on cooking with and that kind of thing, because it does bug me that chilies have so such a range of flavours.
Yeah. Well, on our website we've got a page with the flavour notes, which helps out. So
yeah, we do, absolutely. I always say to people, you liken it to like always think of it like apples. I mean, if you've got if you were blindfolded and I presented a Granny Smith apple, which you took a bite out of not knowing what it was, you would know that's an apple.
Yeah.
But you'd also know it was sharp and acidic. It was crunchy. But then I could give you another apple while you were still blindfolded, and it could be a pink lady or golden delicious, something like that. And you know it's juicy, it's sweet, slightly perfumed. Yeah. But you would be able to tell me on both occasions that what you've just eaten is an apple. Yeah. It's just the flavour profiles are slightly different. Chilies are exactly the same. Yeah. So, and it does bug me that they're never really used, certainly with UK cooking programmes, that they're never really used for their flavours. And chili over here is always about imparting heat and all that. So maybe at some point we'll have a little chat on a podcast and start ranting about that.
Yeah, because I mean, there's plenty of good shops that sell a good range of chilies. I mean, your classic shops are your sort of Asian food markets and things like that, and they do have... a lot of the supermarkets now. Yeah. A lot of the supermarkets now. I mean, they've got their, some of them have got their own breed or whatever of them, and some of them are selling sort of your habaneros and Scotch bonnets quite comfortably and regularly. And some of them don't quite look like habaneros, but there we go.
No, I think a few have been crossed a bit along the way and whatnot, but that's just the way it goes. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. The UK has woken up to chili. Definitely, but I think it's still early morning and they haven't had their coffee yet. I think it's definitely sort of coming about with more and more adventurous other foods. I mean, UK food has an awful reputation abroad. Yeah. Rightly so in some situations, but in others actually not so bad. I mean, we've got some cracking food here, and I mean we can grow a lot of stuff over here. Right, chilies aren't really sort of designed for our climate or our climate vice versa, but we've got some fantastic produce over here. So, it's going to just take a while to get that sort of perception of us, I guess, changed. Yeah. But there you go. Anyway, all right. Well, I think we've ranted long enough, frankly, because I realise we're going off topic now. We're going on to going on about cooking and all that. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I don't think we're done yet. Do you know what I mean? We're getting older every day, of course, but I'd like to think I'm possibly done with eating chilies in a competitive manner. But then again, I don't know. It's
we like to supervise.
Yeah, well, I nearly. Well, like I said, I still do some of the hot chat where we've did the burger in Holland, so the Holland's hottest burger competition, and subsequently won it.
You never know, because something comes up and we just do it, and it's like, I sod it, and but there's going to be more experiences coming to us, and we'll share it, obviously, for your gratification, obviously. Not for our gratification, but all sorts of crazy stuff. I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys listening, I mean, our YouTube channel is the best source of what we've done in the more less than sober moments and whatnot. And I mean, there's various playlists, so you can always have a little look on there and just get over to the YouTube Clifton Chilli Club channel and have a little gander. But there we go. Anyway, well, thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us, whether it's on your commute or just to sort of spend some time doing something a bit different than watching TV or whatever you're doing. So thank you so much for choosing us to be the ones that are waffling on in your ears. So, all right, we'll see you on the next podcast. But for the time being, it's goodbye.
See you or we'll hear you.
When technically we're here, yeah. I mean, it's very generic, isn't it? To say see you. So,
see you.
We'll be in your presence.
You'll hear back from us.
Yes, we'll be here. Yeah. We'll be of essence and in your presence on the next podcast. So there you go.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, guys. So it's goodbye from me, Jay.
And it's goodbye from me, Chilli Dave.
Adios.
Au revoir.